bizarr dokumentär nu om djuriska plastikoperationer.
Today, if you want to be somebody, you've got to look beautiful. And if you're not happy with the way you look, there's a whole industry ready to transform you. But now, the idea of beauty promoted by cosmetic surgery is facing a radical challenge.
I do not believe that any of them have made themselves look more attractive. Are they amazing? Well, that depends on your definition of amazing. I think they're amazing also, but not probably in the way that they think.
Over the past decade, plastic surgery has become an increasingly acceptable choice, but now people are pushing the boundaries of body modification. We take you up close and personal into the everyday lives and minds of a whole new species. Humans who transform themselves into animals. Are they animal magic, or are they just animal tragic? In America, they always have to take things one step further. Eric Sprague was born in Kentucky in 1972. He graduated with a degree in philosophy and was set to become an academic. Instead, he decided to become a lizard.
I am Eric Sprague, or the Lizard Man, as I'm more popularly known. I've had about 600 hours of tattooing done to cover my entire body, including my face. I've had implants put in over my eyes, 5 pieces of Teflon on each side. Had my teeth filed down to sharp points. And of course my tongue forked.
Lizard Man has been transforming himself into a lizard for the past decade.
It's what I do as an artist. This is my piece. I didn't just wake up one morning and go, hey, I think I want to be the Lizard Man. I thought about a lot of different things before I went with this particular motif. The initial idea was just generally transformation as an idea. I had to decide to transform into what. So I had to create this thing that I was going to turn into. I had to create Lizard Man.
I have no interest in figuring out what goes through the peanut-sized brain of a lizard. I mean, they're, a step above cockroaches mentally. I like the way he looks. And so I've modeled what I've done to myself to look similarly. It's not a matter of I feel some sort of kinship with him. And like, no, he's a lizard. I'm still genetically, I'm a human being.
Lizard Man just wants to look like a lizard. But out in the Californian desert, there's someone who wants to become half man, half beast. Coming up, it's time to meet Catman. In a small shack on a lonely highway lives perhaps the most modified man on the planet.
Hello, go on in.
Dennis Avner was born in 1958. At school, he was bright. He joined the Navy as an electronics engineer and served in nuclear submarines. Cats have been his lifelong love affair.
I do relate to my cats on an emotional level, on an empathic level, and know what they want, know what they need. I get along very well with cats.
Cat started his transformation 22 years ago. Silicone has been implanted in his forehead, cheeks, and above his lips. His nose has been restructured and his top lip split. Cat's teeth have been removed and replaced with fanged dentures. To complete the look, 18 piercings hold a set of nylon whiskers. Cat was inspired by his Native American ancestors, who would transform themselves to look like their spirit animal, or totem.
In a very old Huron tradition, it's always been where my people have transformed themselves into closer appearances to their totems. But it goes far more than that. For me, I relate to cats, but I relate to cats on an entirely different level than most people, and I react like a cat does. I see things as a cat does. It affects every aspect about me. Trying to maintain these whiskers is quite a difficult operation.
Cat has to insert the detachable plastic whiskers into his piercings. The operation takes 40 minutes, and there's no quick way of doing it. Cat has spent all his savings on his transformation. He works as a computer technician in a nearby town to fund his life's dream. And to supplement his income, he runs a business from his home, fixing faulty computers for friends and neighbors.
I just thought he was in some type of cat club. And that's what, they dress up like cats and emulate the animal. But I know he's of Indian descent, and so I know they have a thing for animals. All the piercings and tattoos, that's up to him. I couldn't handle it. He's a good friend, and he's all right with me.
Cat's still not satisfied. How can you be a cat without a tail? He's hoping to have one surgically implanted, but for now, he has to settle for a battery-operated strap-on.
Well, my ultimate goal is to continue my transformation and go as far as I can with it. And right now, that's like the deal with the animatronic tail is like, it's the only tail I can get right now. I'm hoping that one day the technology will allow me to be able to attach it, but presently a belt-on tail is as close as I can come to any tail at all.
Paul Lawrence was born in 1968. He is a mysterious beast, which is probably why he is known as the Enigma. Enigma has had 5 operations using ever larger Teflon implants to stretch the skin over his horns.
Consider this. You can be any color you want to be. Just pick one and go for it. I decided to be blue. In order to become one complete color, I decided to go with a pattern, and I decided jigsaw puzzle pieces. That way I could become blue, piece by piece.
Enigma is a mythical beast, part horned animal, part puzzle. Today, he's picking up his wife from the airport.
I see my body as a tool to astound, to mesmerize, to make people dream about things they wouldn't normally dream about. Instead of going through life and thinking about the car payments you can't make, or the mortgage you have to deal with, or the wife and kids screaming at you every day, instead you might stumble into someone like me and think, instead of the things you can't do, all the things you can. I am the impossible possible. You can explain away piercings and you can explain away tattoos, but horns growing out of the head, that's the cutting edge.
Enigma's wife is also on the cutting edge, but her animal of choice is a more familiar one. Enigma met Katzen 10 years ago when neither of them were tattooed, but this soon began to change when they got married.
Look at who's coming. She's right over there. Get her over there. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
What happened to your whiskers? What's up with that?
I wanted
lost
to have
them?
something different for a little bit.
Okay. That's cool.
I ate them. I woke
You
up
did,
one day and
yeah.
eaten them.
She ate her whiskers. It happens.
Katzen was born in 1974. Her mum was in the Navy and they traveled across America. Wherever she went, Katzen kept a whole menagerie of animals. In the end, she decided to become one herself and endured 400 hours of tattooing to turn herself into a feline.
My tattoos were inspired by my dreams, and there's a certain amount of animal instinct that comes into play when you're having dream imagery inspire you. However, I don't take on the day-to-day like mannerisms of a cat. I prefer a toilet to a litter box. I believe that being a sensual person like I am, that is the cat to me. I feel more beautiful this way. You know, when I was just like a cute girl that people would say, oh, you're kind of cute or something, I didn't feel beautiful. And now I feel more beautiful.
Unlike others who've undergone an animal transformation, Leopard Man is a shy creature.
Sometimes I'm asked if I do miss the company of people. The answer is no. I've got so used to having to look after myself, on learning to look after myself in and away from the company of others, that now I just don't want it.
Leopard Man has given up the idea of looking for a mate. In fact, he's never felt the urge to perpetuate the species.
My life started in London. I was born with an Irish mother and an English father. Looking back on it, I think my father drank too much. My mother had too sharp a tongue. The sharper it got, the more he drank, and vice versa. Eventually they decided to separate, and I was packed off to an orphanage. I was brought up by nuns. The only people I came in contact with through the war years, apart from the occasional visit from my parents, who always came separately, were the nuns, who of course were celibate, and the priest who was celibate. And celibacy just became a way of life to me. It was perfectly normal. And if anything, marriage and any form of sexual intercourse with others just never entered my head, and it never has done since.
The Lizard Man managed to attract a mate 3 years ago. He now lives with girlfriend Megan, a mortgage sales rep, their 2 pet ferrets, and a snake. Megan first met Lizard Man after one of his shows. For her, it was instant animal attraction.
Good morning.
I mean, when we were first together, it was the weirdest thing, waking up and rolling over and saying, oh my God, you know, this green man. Yeah, you get used to it. My mom is actually quite used to it. He's been over for family dinners and various things, and she says she doesn't even notice anymore that he's green.
So was his split tongue a pulling point?
He demonstrated that he could grab my tongue barbell with his tongues and pull it, which obviously leads to a lot with the imagination. So that was definitely a selling point for him, is the dexterity of the split tongue.
This split tongue is the most radical aspect of Lizard Man's transformation. His transformation began quite innocently when he went to college and got his ears pierced.
First thing that I really did was piercing my ears. And my parents, they weren't standing there going, no, you will not pierce your ears, but they weren't on the other side going, hey, come on, let's go pierce your ears. They kind of just did the, we're gonna stand here and watch and see what happens, you know?
Lizard Man's parents accepted his transformation, but he's on a journey, and it's impossible to know when someone sets out on this road where they're going to end up.
I think the danger of this phenomena, particularly in people given to repeated plastic surgery or extreme body modification, is that there may be no end point. It's an itch that can never be scratched. There's no satisfactory outcome, so that you achieve a certain change in your body, but what you're wanting to change is yourself. And changing your body doesn't change yourself. To change yourself, you've got to address what's going on in your mind.
To discover the secret behind the enigma, we explored his early years. Enigma grew up in a suburban home in the small town of Bothell, Washington. He had a close relationship with his older brother, Joe. He confirms they had a difficult childhood.
Well, our home life growing up was rather difficult. Our parents started breaking up, and there was a lot of hollering in the house. There was a typical breakup where it wasn't very pleasant.
Beatings are a little more of a common thing than in the new school of raising children.
Their father received severe head injuries in the Vietnam War and returned home a traumatized man. He found fatherhood a difficult task.
He would always tease my brother and I learned how to handle it. My brother never really learned how to handle his teasing. He took it very personally.
At school, Enigma rebelled, adopting new looks and identities.
Every day for me was like some crazy show, and I wore all kinds of different clothes and tried to make my life as exciting as possible for being under such a weight of depression.
Once he started, Enigma couldn't stop.
The first time I noticed something strange about my brother was when he decided to carve a pentagram into his hand. And that was the first time that I really noticed something was odd.
Enigma first became a sword swallower and fire eater. Then, turning his obsession into a profession, he became a full-time exhibitionist. Upon meeting Katzen, he revealed his ambition to her, to become an object of amazement. Although she was a novice tattooist, he gave her the job of tattooing him all over.
I definitely believe that I love to shock and I love the attention. And I use my body as the medium for that. But I'm an entertainer. It's the beauty of amazement, and just getting people to think is so important these days, you know?
Okay. Hi, how you been? Good. You? Doing all right. It's Underwear Wednesday.
At the local shopping mall, Kat has gone to meet some friends. Twin sisters Susie and Sandy haven't seen him for some time and are keen to catch up with their feline friend.
Pretty good. How are you?
Having a long time.
How you doing?
Yeah. Wherever where you been? I haven't seen you in the buffet.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh my God. What you been doing with yourself?
Not too much. Just been around working.
Who does your nails? I love them.
Debbie, a friend of mine in Alpine.
So what more is there to do?
Well, I got a tail recently, and I'm working on doing some improvements on the tail.
See, we were talking about whether
somebody
you had a
asked
tail.
me, they said, does he have a tail? I said, I never looked. I don't mean to be insulting or anything, but I noticed that you have, is it from hormones?
Actually, it's from lack of hormones. I had penile and testicular cancer. And the surgery that corrected that has stopped the production of testosterone.
Oh, gotcha. So it gives you like breasts.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
Better than being dead.
well, hey, you probably got better ones than I do. Alrighty.
And Kat's got a few things on his mind. He's about to meet his long-lost sister.
It's been how many years since you saw your sister?
About 25.
25 years. And she saw you on TV, so she's not going to be in shock
No.
when she sees you.
Some of the local neighbors have been talking about like bringing a bunch of people over, and it's, my sister doesn't really want that, so.
Oh. She don't want a party? She's not going to have party? Notoriety, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Aw. I mean, you haven't seen somebody in 25 years. Your brother shows up, and he's looking a little different. She doesn't want the neighbors coming in and having a cup of coffee, who she hasn't seen for 25 years.
Coming up, Lizard Man's going to a show. Kat's crossing America to meet the sister he hasn't seen for 25 years. And Leopard Man can be spotted down at his local watering hole. Catman is preparing to be reunited with his long-lost sister. He's picking wild sage, a herb burnt by Native Americans to ward off danger.
I haven't seen my sister in 25 years or so, so I'm really looking forward to going to Michigan to see her.
Traveling exposes Cat to new dangers. He says he feels less like a person as animal instincts take control.
I react very much like a cat or a tiger would react. I look at things more a matter of whether or not it's a threat to me rather than what somebody else's social status is or whatever. It's very few things have that much meaning to me. Humans are more caught up in what other people will think, what their status is, how much money they have, what kind of car they drive. Totally superficial things that only impress other people or themselves. Actually, I'm looking for the best cross between the two, both human and cat. There are distinct benefits to both, and I want to get to the point to where I have the best of both species, the best of both worlds.
Lizard Man is the star of a big show tonight. His girlfriend Megan is going to be his assistant. A 160-mile road journey lies ahead.
We're driving to Houston. We don't know where we're staying. We don't know what we're doing.
We have nothing but the clothes on our backs and a whole lot of fuel.
Pretty much the normal chain of events.
And the normal chain of events for Lizard Man is to be the center of attention.
I'm constantly in a situation where I'm forced to defend my life in ways that other people aren't. Yeah, how many times a day does somebody walk up to you and say, why would you do that? Why would you tattoo your face green? Why would you do these things? Nobody does that to the grocery clerk.
Lizard Man has literally transformed himself into a celebrity, but fame has its price.
I think these people turn themselves into celebrities. People turn their heads to look at them. And celebrities who have the wherewithal can distance themselves from their public through their money, through their high walls. But for these people, they're living day in, day out amongst their public, with people staring at them in public places.
Turn around and smile at the people. Stick out your tongue.
No matter how you're feeling, so on certain days it must be quite appealing.
Back on the Isle of Skye, Leopard Man makes his weekly trip by canoe to the nearest village.
Bottled in Hudson's Dinner.
The locals have got used to his appearance, and he laps up the attention.
First time we saw him, we did think it was a bit peculiar, but now we're used to him and we like him very much. He comes in quite often shopping.
Over in Texas, Katzen is on a mission.
Secret operations, done right here at the house.
She's taking the next step in her transformation into a cat.
My hair has been growing for a long time. I think probably 6 years or so, and I definitely want to cut my whole hair, all my hair off of my head, and shave it down all the way down to the skin again, and finish the tattoos that are already outlined on my scalp. I want to keep my hair short enough so that you can still see my tattoos once they're finished, you know? I want to be able to do like the wild, you know, short, wild cat look to my hair, like short and spiky.
Katzen plans to use her hair to create a wig, but Enigma's upset. He prefers his long-haired pussycat.
I'm not gonna like you with short hair, Katzen. It's gonna look awful. I only married you for your hair.
I didn't have any hair when you married me.
So,
ow!
What?
You're really grabbing my hair with that.
Sorry.
It hurt.
I'm not the sensitive hairdresser that you thought I was.
I didn't think you were. I was
Okay,
really
well
not
there
looking
you
forward to having you do this. But
And then
I am looking forward to get my tattoos finished, so I'm just concentrating on that.
Okay, great, thanks.
You're welcome. Ooh, that's my ear.
I'm not cutting your ear yet.
I, unlike you, do not want to cut my ears. Ooh, thanks. Bye-bye hair.
Downtown Austin claims the highest concentration of tattoo parlors anywhere in the world. The Black Cat is Katzen's favorite. Enigma gives Katzen a good luck cat lick before she goes under the needle.
I've learned through the pain, you're actually able to reach these other levels of consciousness. When I first started getting tattooed, I used to actually like push my sensitivity to other parts of my body while I was getting tattooed. But now I have this sensation of freeing that pain from myself. So instead of being in pain, I feel like I am outside of my body in a lot of ways. And I just try to hold on to the tattoos after that. I don't want the pain, I just want the beauty. I feel that I live with these tattoos day to day. I live with that animal inside of me. Everyone, you know, has that to some extent, you know. It's just that I just definitely exude it a little bit more than some, maybe.
Cat has finally arrived in Flint, in his home state of Michigan, to be reunited with his sister. He hasn't seen her since he was 21 and she was 19. He's traveled for 14 hours from one side of the USA to the other. And though Cat is tired and hungry, he's only a short taxi ride from his sister's house. Cat's a completely different beast from the one his sister knew before. The first time a relative told her of his transformation, she was shocked.
Probably about 8-10 years ago, a half-brother of ours called me up and told me, hey, Dennis is in a magazine. And I said, no way, is he? And then I had to get the magazine, and oh my God, it is. I thought it was kind of cool.
For the last few weeks, Cindy and her 2 children have been preparing themselves for Cat's arrival. Emotions are running high.
Extremely excited. Just really, really excited. I can't wait. I've missed him a lot over the years. And now I can see him.
You never saw your sister for how many years?
25 years.
25 years. So you like to come back to Flint?
Oh yeah, it's different. It's see how things have changed. See my sister.
My mom for 2 weeks has been about a nervous wreck, worrying about everything and anything, and even stuff that a person couldn't imagine she'd be worrying about. But she's excited, so I understand it. That's cool.
How are you? It's good to see you.
How are you? It's been a long day, huh?
Yeah, a real long day.
I missed you.
Missed you too. You're shaking.
I wonder why. Oh, I missed you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Yeah, good. It was good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Looks like a cat. Do you feel like a cat?
I've always been really closely connected to cats, so you know that.
Yeah.
That's been a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're definitely older.
Well, yeah, you don't look that much different, though.
You do.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's what you wanted.
Way down south in Texas, some strange animals are coming out to play. But the night's main attraction is a lizard.
So, we're in Houston, and it's glamour time. We just finally figured out when the timing was. Ended up with about an hour and a half less than we thought we would to prepare to get ready for things down here. I took a nice hot shower and sort of cleared out part of my sinuses. Basically, there's stuff coming out of my head that looks like pureed bananas, and that's probably not a good sign.
It's always a little stressful before a show. This shouldn't be too bad, though. It's not going to be horribly strenuous, except for the fact that he's sick. I'm feeling good about whatever I have to do because my role is fairly minimal, but it should be a kick in the pants. It'll be fun.
This lizard is a plucky reptile. He won't let a head cold stop the show. He's headlining at a fetish night party, an evening of the bizarre and the dangerous.
12:30. The way that I work is a lot like the way a stuntman sort of works. An actor might get nervous that they forget their lines, or a magician could get nervous that the trick won't come off. If you swallow a sword and you mess up, you don't go, oh damn, that didn't go right. You go to the grave. You die. I'm much happier doing this and making less money than I am, say, being a warehouse supervisor, which I was at one time, and making more money. This gives me a lot more joy, so I'll take a pay cut for happiness. Yeah, we're ready to go. You ready to do it? All right.
I'm not a shock artist. Everything that I'm doing is, if not centuries, thousands of years old. I'm very much part of a long-running tradition. I don't mind if people come and see me and what I do and look at it just as, hey, here's some eye candy. As long as you like it, as long as you say, hey, this is some of the best damn eye candy I've had, you know, then I'm happy.
Coming up, if you want to look really, really strange, you've got to go through the pain barrier. And Enigma is prepared to suffer for his art. Lizard Man, meanwhile, visits the local psychologist.
To me, freak is a title. I've worked very, very hard to be a freak.
After 25 years of separation, Cat has finally reunited with his sister. It's their first day together, but it's brought back difficult memories. After their father abandoned them, their mother remarried. Their stepfather imposed a strict regime into their lives.
We were happy at first when she married our stepdad, and then it was kind of deceiving. He painted a pretty picture and it really wasn't so. He used to whip us and we weren't used to that. I think the effect that our childhood has had on him may have made him the strong person that he is today.
That would have been a good throw too, had me caught the tree.
The transformation has been so drastic, I wouldn't have been able to recognize him. It's a good thing we keep in contact, huh? It's good seeing him and the connections there. Well, it's always been, but it just confirms it more. I don't care what he looks like, it's still Dennis. I know it. You know, he's really a good guy.
Yeah, it's difficult for me to throw to get in there right.
Aside from a few photos, both Cindy and Cat have lost their childhood possessions. But Cindy did manage to hang on to one thing.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. A long time ago.
I still have all the jacks in it that I had.
Actually, I don't think I had Jackson. I think I had marbles in it or something, but you wanted the bag.
I had the jacks.
Yeah. They're probably very near as old as we are.
I can't remember how I got you to give it to me or trade me. But I did it, and I kept it forever.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Good brother. I don't think he'll regret what he's done, what he's had done. He seems quite comfortable with it.
This is not an easy thing to do, you know, deal with all this stuff, but that they've said that what I'm doing is really good for other people that are interested in doing what I'm doing. I've gotten more people say, you know, I really wish I could do what you're doing. And it's like, you can.
It's an experience I will never forget.
Yeah, this is really great.
Yeah, great.
While these newly formed animals may seem contented, medical practitioners are concerned.
If you're asking me, should they do any more modifications, my answer is no. Do I think that any more modifications are going to make them more attractive? Absolutely not. So, will they find somebody to do it? I have no control over that. I hope not, but probably they will.
Enigma has found someone who can help him on the next stage of his transformation. Robert Michael is a practitioner of body modification. Enigma is going to have the tattoo on his face cut with a scalpel, scarring the outline of the puzzle to make it stand out.
You want to relax, family. You don't want to tense up. Really? Why is that?
Because it hurts more. Oh!
According to US law, only qualified surgeons are allowed to use anesthetic. So Enigma goes under the knife without pain relief. First, Robert cuts down the line on Enigma's nose.
Oh. You get it?
Yeah.
Good, thanks. Ouch, 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 that hurt. I guess you could say that there is a such thing as pain therapy. It really does ground you. When you experience a lot of pain, you really know that you're alive. God!
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Goodness. Not nice.
Moving through.
it's like, yeah, it's like an opportunity that, you know, I have, and to do something that really expresses the inner me, you know.
Do you want to put one?
However, qualified plastic surgeons adhere to a very different aesthetic code.
I do plastic surgery to make people feel better about themselves only if I believe it will make them more attractive.
Okay.
It kind of puts the person in an interesting state.
I do not believe that any of them have made themselves look more attractive.
Plastic surgeons, they don't necessarily always agree with our practices. You know, a lot of people are doing this, and it's not something that is accepted by the norm as beautiful, but, you know, not everybody likes, you know, fake tits, plastic cheekbones, and plastic lips or bleached blonde hair either, mind you.
Bloody kisses.
Scarring your face is something that's very intense. It's very changing for one's life. It's going to change the way the world looks at you. It's going to change the way you see the world. And it's something that people have to be prepared for. Up here, how's that?
Okay. Look at the sunburn. This massive sunburn. Because somebody wanted to shoot me in the sun all day. Ow, 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 my horns. Oh my God.
Look in the mirror, Enigma, just for a second.
Wow.
What's driving these people to their animal transformations? Some may have had dysfunctional upbringings, but others claim they had happy childhoods. Lizard Man visits a psychologist and gets some issues off his chest. Is his altered appearance a cause for concern?
So growing up as a child, I got to travel a lot. Both of my parents also being well-educated, both having college degrees, actually master's degrees, and both teaching. You know, I lived in dairy farm country most of the year.
Could I see your tongue? Wow, that's impressive. It moves independently toward each other. Now, did you have to learn to do that kind of movement?
They move independently, they taste independently. There really are two separate functional tongues.
This is an unusual question for me as a psychologist, but do you mind showing me under the t-shirt? Sure. Okay, let me take a look with my glasses on. Okay, it says freak. Eric, is the hair your own hair?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, okay. I couldn't tell if that was part of the design, too.
Yeah, I'm naturally fuzzy.
Okay, and why did you choose to label that?
To me, freak is a title. I've worked very, very hard to be a freak. You can look at me with the dirtiest look on your face and spit through your teeth when you call me a freak, but I'm going to smile because to me, that's success. Okay. You know, that is, you know, I've achieved something by becoming a freak.
Well, my first impression really is that he's pretty well balanced, pretty adjusted to what he's done. And as a psychologist, I don't see anything pathological in the way he presented himself to me today. Well, I enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Something. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for having us here.
Okay. Bye.
Normal kanske inte bäst beskriver dessa människor, men galna verkar de inte heller vara. Vänta bara tills nästa vecka. Hon har världsrekord i plastikkirurgi och låtit göra om sig till sin idol Barbie. Cindy, en levande Barbie-docka, nästa söndag. Nu härlig långfilm, Mångalan.